Katie number 2, come on up. Hi. Hey, Katie Armiger, it's so nice to meet you. Thanks for joining us. It's so good to see you.
And Lauren, before you get started, I just want to let our Ustream and live stream viewers know that there's a chat room here at cbsnews.com and /backstage live if you want to ask questions for Katie and our other guests. We're here, and we're chatting here.
And we know you especially have a tremendous amount of fans. I'm so impressed. You're 19 years old. 19. Your 3rd studio album. Wow.
Thank you. Thank you so much. Yes, it actually was just released this past Tuesday.
How does that make you feel to be 19 and this accomplished?
Very, very blessed. So, I mean, I have such a great label and support system, so I really couldn't ask for anything better.
Tell me about the title. You left something very important in the hands of your fans.
Yes, I let them name the entire album. I picked, my 3 favorite titles, and then we put them on GAC, and my fans voted, and I'm glad that they picked Confessions of a Nice Girl. It was definitely my favorite.
You mean you didn't send any notes around in the social media world saying, please vote for this title?
I didn't, but I myself might have gone on and voted for that.
Tell me about your song in regards to John Lennon. I know that we're all, especially in the news, honoring him and what would have been his 70th birthday.
Well, today I'll be singing Watching the Wheels, and it's one of my favorite songs of his. It's really cool. It was at the point in his career when he was kind of slowing down. He wanted to spend more time with his family, and, he wanted to watch everything go by, and he didn't want to, be on the sidelines in the game of the music industry. He wanted to be with his family, so it's a cool song.
Why did you decide to do it? What about him has inspired you the most?
Just his music. I mean, he himself is such a legend, and, it's very inspiring.
How does it feel to be, I know we talked about doing all of this at 19 and through your teen years. It just blows my mind. But has it been hard to just be a normal, everyday teenager when you've had so much accomplished so far? I'm sure you've got a lot of friends who are not doing what you're doing.
I feel so normal. I know that going to New York and being here today, isn't something that's normal. People don't always get to do that. But I still went to prom, and I still, hang out with my friends, and I do everything like that. So
it's been really important to you to still have those normal teenage experiences despite this fantastic career.
It definitely has. Like I said earlier, I'm just really blessed. I get to have almost the best of both worlds.
Where's your favorite tour spot?
I really, really love New York. I genuinely do. It's probably one of my favorite places to travel.
Tell me about some of your songs in regards to leaving home. I thought that was really interesting and something that a lot of people can relate to.
Well, I wrote that song actually this past Christmas for my parents, and it was kind of my, hey guys, I love you, but I'm leaving home. They really didn't know that I was officially moving until I kind of was like, here's your present, here's this song, and
Well, I have to say that is quite unique, because I don't know many people who, instead of sitting down and saying, Mom, Dad, I'm moving out, they decide that they'll sing them a song instead. So did you actually perform it for them, and that's how they found out?
No, I was working on Confessions of a Nice Girl, and, we were in the studio the week before Christmas. I'm like, hey guys, can you just give me a little demo of this? I'm gonna put a little compilation of this song on it for them, and that's what I did.
So sweet. I'm sure it's something a lot of people can relate to, but I bet that they're quite upset that you're gone.
Sometimes they're really supportive of everything that I do. They definitely miss me, and I miss, them. We're totally different states, but it's great that they support me in what I do.
How do you balance all of this? You mentioned that you have a lot going on. It's important for you to incorporate a lot of the everyday activities into your career. How do you just do it all?
It's really not hard for me. It's one of those that I've always tried to be as normal as possible and just do everything that I can. So, I just make sure that I sit back and I'm like, okay, I can't just let life go by. I need to do this, I need to do that. Take a step back.
Do you have any other major goals that you are hoping to check off your bucket list anytime soon?
I would love to be CMA Female Vocalist of the Year. So that's my goal.
And who is your all-time favorite performer right now? I know that's a tough question.
Right now, Martina McBride. Definitely.
How about a number 2?
Number 2, Dead or Alive.
I'll give you both.
Okay. Patsy Cline. Yeah, Patsy Cline. It would definitely be Patsy Cline.
So what's
Linda Ronstadt afterwards. Patsy Cline, then Linda Ronstadt. Or maybe Linda, then, I don't know.
Do your parents have a musical background? Do they help inspire you?
They inspire me, but they never really, they did choir and that sort of thing, but I'm the only one in my family that ever really wanted to, pursue it, so.
When did it click for you that, wow, I have this great talent, I can write songs, and this is what I want to pursue?
I was really, really little when, I realized that this is what I wanted to do.
How old?
I started singing around Texas when I was 9, and of course, before that, I'd do little shows for my family, and be like, sit here and watch me sing and dance, and things like that. But
did anybody ever say to you, in regards to hurdles, you know what, kid, you got a great voice, you're talented, but hey, that seems to be everybody's dream?
I would say the biggest one that I've come across is an age thing, and it's how can you know that this is what you want to do, and just that you're going to go after your goal, and are you really dedicated, that sort of thing, and you just have to prove them wrong.
Well, you certainly have proved them wrong. For viewers who are watching who are maybe your same age and think, wow, maybe I can be like her, what are a couple tips?
My biggest one would probably be songwriting. If it's something that interests you and you really like it, you should really give it a try. I mean, for me, it kind of helps me connect to a song better when it's something that I'm really, really close to, and it's happened to me or a friend or a family member.
Looks like we have a question from a chat room. What do we got, Rick?
TC Knoll would like to know, would you like to play the Opry one day?
I would love to, definitely. That's on the bucket list as well, so.
A lot of good things on the bucket list.
I have a lot of really good things on the bucket list, so.
Yes. How about your favorite song? You've got a lot of fantastic songs. What's your number one that you perform personally?
On this new album?
Any of them.
Any album.
I'm throwing a lot of tough questions at you, huh?
I've never thought about some of these. I would say I'm going to go with the new album. I have 2. It would be The Best Song Ever and Cry, Cry, Cry.
I always wondered with songwriters, is it hard to really bare your soul? Because that's what you're doing. And, I don't know if you're a private person. I don't know if you can be in your business, but you're really putting your feelings out there for the whole world to hear.
You definitely are. The hardest thing, in my opinion, is when you go into a writer's room, when you're not used to it and it's, your first time, and you have 2 hours in a session with somebody else that you've never met, and you do have to completely bare your soul and be like, this is everything that's happening in my life. You just unload it all on them, and it's a really different experience, but once you get used to it, it's so much fun.
Is that how you write most of your songs at this point?
Yes. So I write a few by myself, and then, I just love writing, with other people, and, kind of changing it up so everything doesn't, sound the same, and it's all different from different perspectives.
The whole concept is really interesting to me. I mean, I just love the concept. Carly Simon happens to be one of my favorite singers, and I remember she said when she wrote Anticipation, I think she was getting ready for a date with Cat Stevens, and she wrote it in 15 minutes. So I can't help but wonder, are you in these situations where all of a sudden the light bulb goes off, your emotions are running high, and you've got the whole song written down?
Definitely. There have been a few moments like that. And a lot of times if I'm writing by myself, I'll wake up at 2 in the morning and I'll be like, oh gosh, I need to write this down really quickly before I forget it, because I'll forget it if I go back to sleep. And so I'll just do that in 15, 20 minutes.
So it sneaks into your dreams?
What?
It sneaks into your dreams?
It does. And a few times I've been I'll remember, I'll wake up in the morning and remember, and I don't.
Do you write about people who you wonder if maybe you've lost touch with? They're thinking, is this song about me?
Ooh, that's a good question. A few of them, I mean, all of my songs either come from something that's it's inspired by something that's happened in my life, other people's lives. And sometimes, yes, I've written them for specific people, but a lot of times they don't get it. So
I guess that's a good thing.
I think it's a good thing. Yes.
Now we've talked about your bucket list and things that you hope for, but what about near future? You've already got your third album done. What's your next step?
Promoting it. So we're gonna get out, I think, and play a lot of shows, and I'm really, really excited about that. And having people just listen to this new music, because I'm so proud of it.
Well, tell our viewers where you'll be so they can catch up with you.
Everywhere. So if you go on katiearmiger.com, which is my website, I'll be like posting every single date, and everybody can see where I'm going.
And when does it start, end?
When does it start, end? Oh goodness. I don't even know my own schedule. Very, very shortly. So
Okay.
I would say within like the next 2 weeks.
So what is that like for you to just be traveling all the time and not even know the start date and the end date?
It's different. I tell my manager this all the time. I'm like, I'm on a need-to-know basis, and I don't need to know anything. No. I look at my schedule like a month in advance, and then I'm good, and then I'll take it week by week.
Does that help you not feel so overwhelmed, I guess?
Kind of, but it's more or less I'll just like forget some of the things that I'm doing, so I'll have to look at it, make sure that I remember everything that's on there.
How does it feel being on the road and away from home for so long? That's really got to get to people after a while, even though you do have a great gig performing all over the country.
Thanks. It's different. I've gotten used to it, and I went on a tour last summer, and it was a mall tour, and we did 2 shows a day for a few months, and it's one of those things that it's tiring, and at the end you're like, oh gosh, but if you love singing and you love bands and it's what you want to do with your career, then you do it.
Tell me about your fans. As you said, you must truly adore them.
I do. So, I mean, any fan that I have is a friend of mine, and that's what I consider them. They're people that write to me and will be like, I love this song, and I can relate to it because my boyfriend broke up, or I'm leaving home. We've had so many people use it as a graduation song, leaving home, and, that makes me happy, so.
Getting back to the tour, how do you rest your vocal cords? You mentioned singing sometimes twice a day.
Yeah. Try not to talk is the biggest thing, and
That's got to make your manager happy.
Maybe a little bit. You try not to talk. Don't drink things with like milk, and there are all of these rules associated with like trying to preserve your voice.
Well, don't they say dairy is the worst thing you could possibly do for your vocal cords?
Yes, they say that dairy is the worst. So I try not to like drink milk or
A lot of tea with just honey and lemon.
a lot of tea with honey and lemon, and decaffeinated tea, because caffeine is bad as well.
Oh, really? I didn't know that. So do you have a
Yeah.
huge laundry list?
I have a laundry list that I skim over. I try to follow it, so.
Aside from singing, which is pretty obvious, that's the favorite part about all of this, but is there a number 2?
Not really, no. So, I mean,
like having the manager, having the fantastic wardrobe, that's got to all help.
as far as singing, I mean, definitely. Like career-wise, there's not a number 2, but I mean, yeah, I would say that. There's
Well,
so many things.
we are so happy you stopped by. Thank you so much for being
Thank
with
you.
us, and we look forward to seeing you again. Thank
Thank
you. Bye-bye. Rick, love Katie.
She's awesome.
She's